Brilliance Audio presents The Strenuous Life, Teddy Roosevelt and the Making of the American Athlete, by Ryan Swanson, performed by David Vries. Introduction. This is the White House. The President would like to have you play tennis this afternoon at 4, if you are free. Years later, Lawrence Murray still remembered the thrill of receiving this call. Of course he was free. Murray had recently been appointed Assistant Secretary of the Department of Commerce and Labor. He was new in town, or at least newly back in town. He also happened to be a decent tennis player. So, suspecting nothing other than some important FaceTime with the President of the United States, Murray showed up at the appointed time and place. But first, he shopped for the occasion. Thus Murray, a round young man with a pleasant laugh and a calm manner, looked downright resplendent when he arrived, sporting a brand-new white, spick-and-span tennis getup. President Theodore Roosevelt, in contrast, wore a brown army shirt, thick, well-worn khaki knickers, and black boots. This was the official uniform of the Strenuous Life, the athletic crusade for which Roosevelt had become so well known. Roosevelt greeted Murray warmly. Rounding out the playing group were Director of Forestry Gifford Pinchot and Secretary of the Interior James Garfield. Right away, things went poorly for Murray. Feeling a bit overwhelmed, he prayed silently that he would not be paired with the Commander-in-Chief. Too much pressure there. He did not want to bear responsibility for a presidential loss, even if it was only on the tennis court. But when the four men tossed their rackets in the air to select teams, Murray's and Roosevelt's landed facing the same direction. Partners. I did not know the President at all then, and to find myself his partner in tennis when I had not had a racket in my hand for months while he was in good practice, and so were the others, Murray remembered, was a little upsetting to say the least. The reality here is a timeless one. The nervous, subordinate employee paired with the overly competitive, gung-ho, and somewhat skilled boss. The sport could well have been golf or ping-pong, all the rage during the first decade of the 20th century, or badminton. Workplace anxiety was Murray's primary opponent for the day. Play commenced. Despite his nerves, Murray managed to bat a few balls in the right direction. Things were going okay. At least he avoided pulling an Archie Butt, an invited bureaucrat who actually hit the President with a tennis ball, so that was good. Murray had his hands full on the court. Garfield and Pinchot both played splendidly. Roosevelt, on the other hand, played with, well, great enthusiasm. Somehow his racket seemed too short, and the little tantalizing ball too small, reported the Washington Post of the President's game on a rare occasion the press was allowed to observe a White House match. Roosevelt had the bad habit of drifting into no man's land as his partner served. The President stands too close to the net for so stationary a player as he is. Ball after ball goes by him. Thus, the partner, Murray in this case, raced around trying to pick up the slack. The other fellow in the back court, chasing from side to side, does all the work, the Post explained, summing up the Team Roosevelt tennis experience. The whole group was sweating profusely. President Roosevelt had outfitted his White House tennis court, installed in 1903 replacing several of William McKinley's greenhouses, with a 20-foot-high canvas fence. The canvas worked perfectly in terms of privacy, but it also created an airless womb of athletic activity. Only a few games in, Murray had serious doubts about his ability to survive due to the stifling environment. This barrier of canvas, Murray lamented, kept out every breath of air. So on a hot afternoon when the mercury stood around 90 in the shade, and with a 7-set tennis match ahead of us, it required much of the vigor of life not to wilt completely. Roosevelt, for his part, considered the heat to be a benefit in his long-standing quest to keep his weight under control. Fortunately for Murray, a summer thunderstorm intervened before too long. The group ducked into the President's office as the skies opened up. The White House tennis court was attached directly to the executive mansion. The play to politics proximity.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?